So what if I told you that how you do this can make a second impression? Would you want to know what this is? Well, today I'm going to share with you what this is. And this is actually two particular things. Now, why is this important? Well, this is important because you probably heard on another video where I mentioned about we all have heard the saying that you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Surely you've heard that. But you know one thing that I thought about? I never hear people talking about a second impression. And that's why I've been investing so much time focusing on these second impressions, because guess what? They matter. And a lot of times they matter more than the first. So today I'm going to share with you, I'm going to read something for you, but I'm going to read something from a story that I've been talking about. And I've been talking about Ruth, Naomi, and Boaz. And I've been talking about how Naomi was preparing Ruth for a second impression or a second encounter with Boaz. Now, if you think back to the previous chapter, Ruth got an opportunity to meet Boaz in the field when she was working. Why did that happen? Because Ruth was working in Boaz's field. Boaz had his reapers out there. He has his maidens out there. There's a lot of women out there working. And Boaz comes to the field, excuse me, he comes to the field and he noticed there's a woman out there that I don't know. I don't know who she is. I've heard some things about her, but I don't know her. And Ruth was doing such a fantastic job. Boaz, so many words Boaz says, I'm going to say it like he probably said it. Who is that? And I think that's what Boaz said. And so him and Ruth have a conversation, but keep in mind, Ruth is working. So she's in her work clothes. She's probably got her hair tied up. She's probably dirty, right? So Boaz is like, okay, she's out here working hard. Okay, good deal. Now we fast forward. Naomi is preparing Ruth for a second encounter with Boaz. And Naomi knows that, Ruth, listen, this second encounter does not need to be like the first encounter you had with him in the field. This second encounter needs to be different. How is it going to be different? Well, Naomi tells Ruth, clean yourself up, anoint yourself with your best perfume, put your best clothes on, go down there where he's working. Now, when you go in there, don't reveal yourself. Wait for the appropriate time. And after you do that, he is going to let you know what you need to do. And that's where we're picking up. So we're picking up in the Ruth, the 3rd chapter, and we're going to read the 6th through the 11th verse. This is the King James Version. So we're going to pick up where I just said. So it says, and she went down unto the floor. This is Ruth. It's talking about Ruth. She went down to the floor and did according to all that her mother-in-law bade her to do. So she did everything that Naomi told her to do. 7th verse. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn. And she came softly and uncovered his feet and laid her down. 8th verse. And it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid, and he turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. 9th verse. And he said, who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thine handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art a kinsman. And he said, blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast showed more kindness in the latter end than at the beginning, inasmuch as thou followest not young men, whether poor or rich. Last verse, 11th verse. And now, my daughter, fear not. I will do to thee all that thou requirest. For all the city of my people doeth know that thou art a virtuous woman. Oh my goodness. Can't you see this is the second encounter that Boaz is having with Ruth? And Boaz, now, if you think about this, so let's talk about these two things. You remember I said how this makes a second impression? So I'm going to talk about two things that happens in this story to where it truly makes a second impression. And Boaz, as you can see, Boaz is ready to do whatever she wants him to do. Excuse me. And that's the way when we do these two things in our second impression, people will be different. People will want to do whatever you almost want them to do. As a matter of fact, they will be on the same page as you. So what are the two things she does? Number one, she positions herself. Now, how does she position herself? Well, the first thing she did by positioning herself is she followed her mother-in-law's instructions. You see, the person who is teaching you, coaching you, counseling you, ministering to you, if you don't follow their instructions, you're out of position. Plain and simple. You're out of position. Ruth, she was right in position. She positioned herself to get under Naomi's authority. And when she did that, she repositioned herself to present herself to Boaz. A lot of you are out there right now trying to position yourself for your opportunities, and you're out of position. Why? Because you haven't submitted to authority. You haven't submitted to someone teaching you. You haven't submitted to someone leading you. You haven't submitted to someone counseling you and telling you, don't do it this way, do it this way. And you're you're chasing opportunities. You're chasing them, you're chasing them, and you know what? Your opportunity is going to keep saying, nope, not interested. Nope, not interested. Nope, not interested. You know why? Because you're not in position. Ruth positioned herself. Listen to what she did. She followed Naomi's instructions. She waited for the right time to reveal herself. She laid herself at his feet. She came in softly. She uncovered his feet, and then she laid at his feet. Do you hear all the things that she did? I mean, it was not about her. It was not about what surely she could have said, Naomi told me to do this, but now I'm here. I'm going to do this. She could have did that. And sometimes that's what we do. Somebody give us 5 instructions. When we get to the second instruction, we say, I don't need them other 3. I'm going to do what I want to do. We're out of position. I'm telling you, I have seen it. Matter of fact, I've done it. And I had to realize this is not working out for me. So maybe I should do what I've been told to do. So if you want to get yourself back in position, matter of fact, if you want to position yourself for your opportunities, position yourself for the authority that's supposed to be in your life. And I promise you, if you don't have authority in your life, your opportunities are going to keep passing you by because you're not prepared. One of the things that I have learned since COVID, I had a lot of opportunities before COVID, and they were good opportunities. And as I've come through COVID, I've recognized that some of my opportunities were running away from me. And the reason why they were running away from me is because I needed to reposition myself under authority. And I promise you, when I reposition myself under the authority that I have in my life, opportunities now are running me down. As a matter of fact, the opportunities are more easy. And I'm like, that's real. And so I promise you, so if you feel like your opportunities are passing you by and your opportunities are going right between your hands and you can't grasp it, reassess your position. And I'm not talking about position with the opportunities, but I'm talking about your position with the authority in your life. Start there. And when you start there, your opportunity is going to take care of themselves. Guess what? That's what happened with Ruth. She followed her instructions of Naomi. And I'm telling you, when she did that, now she did have a role to play, because when Boaz was awakened, he was frightened because he's like, I went to sleep. I've been here working all night. I'm working. What this woman doing here? And yeah, he was afraid because he's like, hold on. How long have you been here? As a matter of fact, he probably started thinking, what could you have done? As a matter of fact, what have you been doing since I've been asleep? I mean, I can see he's afraid. But her presence, you see, she positioned herself with her presence when he woke up. And that calmed him. You see, there's a lot of opportunities you have that people want to work with you, and they want to do certain things with you, but maybe your presence is not aligning with your position. You see, your presence has to line up with your position as well. So when people are afraid and you have a conversation with them, you can calm their fears. That's what she did with Boaz. So How you do this, how you position yourself, number one. Number two, after you present yourself, now it's after you present yourself. You see, first we have to position ourselves. We have to get in the right position. And when we're in the right position, now we have to present ourselves. I love this. Boaz woke up afraid. She presented herself in a certain way. How did she present herself? This is how she presented herself. She said, I am Ruth. As a matter of fact, I am, what did she say in verse 9? She says, I am Ruth, thy handmaid. So she's telling him right now, I'm Ruth. I'm one of the women that's been working in your field. That's what she tells him. So in so many words, she's saying to him, you have no need to be afraid. That's how, see, sometimes we have to present ourselves that we're not presenting any fear to people. We're not threatening to people. Now, some people I know, they present threats all the time. And you know what? I don't want to do anything with them. I don't want to work with them. I don't care to talk to them. I don't want to do anything with them. Why? Because they're constantly presenting threats. And you know how that is. If you present a threat, you're going to get a threat. And then all of a sudden you got all other crazy things going on. But Ruth was like, I am thy handmaid. Now, and then I love what so she tells him who she is. She tells him how she's related to him in terms of how he should know her. Then listen to what she says. She gives him some instructions. And most people miss this, but I love this. She said, spread therefore thy skirt over thy handmaid, for thou art near a kinsman. She told him in so many words, I am near a kinsman. Take your skirt and spread it over me. In so many words, cover me. That's her way of telling him, I am not here to harm you. As a matter of fact, I am here for you to cover me. Boaz didn't have a choice but to say, now really? Well, okay, I can see Boaz saying, let me look at this a little bit different. And then I can see him processing in his head. Hold on. This is the lady that was working in my field. This is the lady, this is Naomi's daughter-in-law. This is the lady that I have heard so many things about. In that moment, how she positioned herself and then how she presented herself, Boaz was like, we got something going on here. Do you see what I'm talking about in this story? So let's listen, let's live focusing on how are we positioning ourselves in life. I know we're all trying to position ourselves for the best opportunities, for the best job, for the best this and for the best that. I get it because you know what? I'm doing the same thing. But I'm telling you, based on this story, I want to constantly be aware of how am I positioning myself with the authority in my life first. That's where I'm going to start. I want to position myself with the authority in my life. Now, and once I do that, now I have to present myself. So when those opportunities come close, come near me, right, and I come near the opportunities are going to say, hold on, who are you again? And then I'm just going to tell them, hey, I'm Dr. Sam Jones. Hey, I am an author, a speaker, a trainer, and this is what I do. As a matter of fact, come on, cover me. Cover me because I'm looking for someone to redeem me, right? And I'm not talking about somebody to take care of me, but I'm actually looking for someone to serve because guess what? Whoever I serve, they're going to serve me back. And that's what Ruth was pretty much saying to Boaz in so many words. Listen, I am not here to harm you. I am not here to threaten you. I am not here to challenge your authority. I know who you are, but you know what? I'm here for you to cover me because I've been working in your field. And as a matter of fact, Boaz knew I've been here sleeping. I have no idea how long this woman has been laying up in here. And she could have did so many things to me, but she didn't take advantage of me. You see how you position how Ruth positioned herself and she presented herself? So many people are struggling in life because they're going through life trying to take advantage of people. They have the upper hand and they're taking advantage of people. And I'm telling you from this story, if you go through life trying to take advantage of people, the opportunities are going to constantly run away from you. Let's position ourselves. Let's do these two things. Number one, position ourselves to get alignment with authority. And number two, when we present ourselves to opportunities, let's present ourselves in a way to where the opportunities want to be with us and want to live with us, want to marry us, want to walk with us, want to die with us. And that's what Ruth did, because Boaz, from that moment, he was not the same. And that's the way we'll be when we do these things. How you do this makes a second impression. Yeah. How we position ourselves and how we present ourselves. So as you can see, I'm pretty fired up about this, because I know this works, and I know this is the truth. It's the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Why? Because it's changed me. And I'm telling you, so many people out there, they want everything around them to change, and they don't want to change. This is what I'm challenging people. So I have a lot of people I'm coaching professionally, ministering with, a lot of things. And they tell me, well, I don't know why this opportunity, and I don't know why they don't want to work with me, and I don't know. And I say, well, you go first. I say, everything you want to change, why don't you change you first? This is one of the things I tell managers all the time when I'm working with them. And they talk about, well, man, these people are lazy, and these people are this, and these people. And I said, it has nothing to do with these people. I said, I want to challenge you to look in the mirror and see yourself. And I tell them all the time, I say, listen, if you're managing people, supervising people, and you saying your people don't care about what they're doing, the reason why they don't care about what they're doing and the results they're getting is because they feel like you don't care about them. Yeah, that's real. Listen, when people feel like you care about them, people will care about the results that they get. But when people feel like you don't care, as a supervisor, as a manager, when they say, my manager doesn't care about me, my supervisor doesn't care about me, I can tell you what they're going to say. They're going to say, well, I don't care about the results. And they can ride me, they can talk about me, they can do all those things. I'm not going to care about what I do because they don't care about me. I'm telling you, this is what this story is all about. Ruth knew Naomi cared about her because she gave her instructions, and more importantly, she followed the instructions. And don't you know, Boaz knew that Ruth cared about him because Ruth had the upper hand, and Ruth didn't take advantage of him, and Ruth yielded to him. Ruth understood the big picture. Boaz understood the big picture. Naomi understood the big picture. And all of them were at different levels, but at the end of the day, it all worked out. Listen, do these two things and let it work out for you. What are the two things again? How you position yourself and how you present yourself. Listen, share this video, like this video, comment on this video. If this is helpful for you, share it with someone who needs it, right? Because we all need to hear something. We all need to know, we all need to hear the truth. And it's not even about me, but it's about the message. So let this message be not just a moment, but build a movement for you as you go forward. Listen, hope this has been helpful for you. It's been exciting for me. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. See you soon.